So this is what I hoped. Anyone? I really hoped that they had a magic wand when they were in there and something magical was going to happen. But honestly, I really didn't know. My husband asked me, why this? Why this? You tried Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig, why this? And I said, I don't know. And did anybody know? Was everyone as clueless as I was? Right? I had no idea why this was going to work versus anything else I had tried. But I put on a good fight. I was like, I don't know, because statistically this is supposed to be blah, 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 blah. And I was really just talking shit because I had no idea if it was going to work. And I was scared because I talked a good talk. So I was like, this better work, because if not, I'm going to look like an ass. Like, it had to work. Oh. No, right? Yeah, what? Go back? Oh, they're back. Oh, they're back. Yes, they're back. But the point of this is not to mourn the Twinkie. The point of this is I didn't expect to mourn food. Did anybody mourn food? Like, yeah, I had mini funerals before the surgery of all the food I ate. Like, this is the last fry I'm going to eat. This is the last hamburger. I swear to God, I thought, I'm going to gain weight and they're going to reject me at surgery date, because I was so, like, panicked that I wasn't going to, you know, eat those foods again. So I wasn't alone. Everyone is. So now, do you guys still mourn food post-op? No, because you found a way to cheat, cheaters. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, and I don't mourn as much, right? Because I learned I can have a fry if I want to. It's just not the options I generally go to anymore. So there's a bit of a difference, right? And by the way, I'm going to take some questions after, so make sure you have a long list, because if not, we're just going to be staring at each other. All right, let's see. I didn't expect to feel hungry. Anyone? I was like, really? The surgery's going to help take away my hunger, and that's how I'm not going to eat anymore, right? Wrong. Wrong. Does anybody still feel hungry? Oh my God. I do remember feeling my stomach growl for the first time. I was like, what the hell is that? Like, you know, really? I didn't understand what that was. I was starting to learn, oh, that's what hungry is, because I never gave it a chance to be hungry, right? So yeah, I didn't expect to feel hungry. But I was. I was very hungry. And before, I don't remember really ever feeling hungry. So when it's taken away, you know, you're like ravenous. I was so like fiending like a crackhead for food. And I remember that 4 weeks liquid diet after I had the gastric. And then I was counting down the day, asked my husband, like, 2 more days, I get to have half of a scrambled egg, right? And to make it worse, I ate out of shot glasses because they were like 2 ounces. So I could measure that. It is possible to scramble half of an egg, by the way. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize. You know, it's just like a little tiny pieces of flake, like tiny. So I was craving, and I was like, give me some refried beans, something in a cup I could just taste a little bit of. So I really I felt like that on the inside. I knew I was going to throw up. I heard, especially with the gastric bypass, I knew for sure. Okay, a little bit of vomiting. Who hasn't vomited in their life? I was like, I could deal with a little bit. If that's what it takes to get this weight off, I'll do it, right? Yeah, I didn't know that that's what they meant about vomiting. It's not vomiting. It's this foam that collects first. It starts with the foam, right? It starts with the burping, I think. The burping, and then you're like, oh God, no, don't do it. You know, because then you know it's coming, and then the foam, because you don't want to throw it up, and then it collects. And then if you're lucky enough to throw the food up, if it doesn't get lodged, then you're throwing up the food, then the foam, then and then you want to lay down, which we're not supposed to. Anyone know you're not supposed to lay down? You're supposed to walk it off and get it moving, right? But what do? And I hold it in and make it worse. So I had no idea how painful it was, and I'm crying. And one time I got a piece of chicken stuck from here to Vegas. The worst trip of my husband's life. I mean, it was bad, right? I think I cried half the way. He's like, do I need to go to the emergency room? No, I'll be a failure. No. And later I found out it was lodged, and I should have gone to the emergency room, because you can suffer from dehydration and blah, blah, blah. So don't do what I did. Can anyone relate to that? Anyone? The lodging, right? Oh, yeah. Anyone, does that look familiar? Except they look happy, because that's not what I look like. Loose skin, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I can deal with some loose skin, right? And again, when I was looking for photos about loose skin, I was afraid I'd have one of your guys' pictures in here from your surgeon, because that's all that came up was like before and after. Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to put up a picture of some sagging boobs, and somebody's going to be like, oh my God, that's my surgeon's picture. Like, I can't. And so I didn't do that. I spared you. But that's just, it's not loose skin, right? It's like loose skin. It's like bad, right? Does anybody struggle with that? The loose skin? So for some of us, it's easier to overcome than others. For me, it wasn't as bad. I was a little bit shocked that it was so loose and that I had so much, because I didn't know I was that big. I didn't know I'd deflate that much. But oh man, I can like flip it over. It's, you know, I lay down, I look like flat-chested. You know, it's bad. It's really bad. But I just had to say, do I want the loose skin or do I want the fat? You have to contend with one or the other. For some of us, we can do that. And we can be fine, and that's the end of it. But for some of us, it'll cause a deep depression, right? Like, so now we have to break out the gold bond for a whole nother reason, right? Or the squeaky cheeks, or right? So it can cause depressive feelings. And how do we know when we're just sad about the change or when we're depressed about the change? When it's literally keeping you from functioning. If you stop going out and doing stuff because of your loose skin, you're taking it to a whole nother level, then that's when you need to seek a little bit of extra help. Okay, so also body dysmorphia. If you're looking in the mirror, and it can be bad, but if you're seeing a whole nother picture, that's when you need to seek additional help as well. I expected to be a little moody. They told me you're a little moody. Sometimes your hormones are, you know, affected. And I was like, oh, I'm moody anyway, so we're good. I got that down, right? So yeah. I didn't expect to be irate. I didn't expect to like want to kill people. You know, my road rage took it up to a whole nother level. Anybody experience this, or am I alone? You guys are all just angels, right? Yeah, it's just like, take away my food and you have taken away my air. And then take away my favorite foods and you're in trouble. Like, I just couldn't deal. See, Laura's like, I'm having issues right now. So that's really more what it looks like. And I think in our pre-op classes, I think we need to teach our newbies this, right, you guys? Like, let's show them the real stuff. Like, let's not, like, sugarcoat it. I didn't expect to love exercise. I never exercised before. I was like, oh, I'm going to get away with it without exercising. So I was, you know, like, yeah, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to be the fitness, you know, guru, whatever. Yeah, I'm still not. I hate it. I was absolutely finally spot on about something. Like, I still hate exercising, you know, and I'm so jealous of you that, you know, you're stressed out and then you can go out for a jog, whatever. I'm not that. Let me go do yoga because I had a bad day. Like, I still want the cheeseburger. So no, I don't like exercising. So the difference now, though, is that when I do exercise, I don't wait to feel like it. Does that make sense? I do not wait till I feel like exercising to exercise, because then what happens? Screw it, we're not going to. So the key to this is that don't wait to feel it, right? Our feelings and behaviors got us to the 300, 400 pounds. So you can't rely on those. You need to teach yourself new habits, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I didn't expect to be overconfident about it. I thought it would be a struggle the whole time. So in the beginning, although the throwing up and the dumping, I was like, this is sort of easy. This is okay, I got this, right? And then once I became too confident that I had it down, that I knew what to eat, that I wasn't throwing up as much, what happened? Started to gain it back. And then these jeans got tighter and tighter. And I was like, oh, hell, what is happening? Well, it's because like Graham said earlier, I stopped being scared, right? And that's the key to this. You have to stay scared, because if not, you become cocky and think you have it down and think that one fry is not going to hurt you. But then who stops at one fry, right? They need to start serving one fry. So I didn't know that was going to be a problem. But I really didn't expect to finally literally figure out what the magic key to this surgery is. For me, and what I believe, seeing so many of you guys and going through it personally, I really, really finally understand, I think, why this surgery works. Everyone's like, really? Because what is it? What's the key? Let's see, what did I write down? That all those things that happened to me were lessons. All the throwing up was a lesson. It was like a slap in the face. It was really like electroshock therapy, I think. You eat the wrong thing, it's like, ugh. You eat the wrong thing, ugh, right? So this is the way you change behaviors. You have a trigger, whether it's a smell or an alarm clock or whatever, you have a trigger. Then you do the behavior, then you have the reward. And enough of that creates new behaviors. That's how you change patterns. So the opposite is supposed to happen when we have this surgery. We're supposed to have a trigger, we're hungry or whatever. We do the behavior, we eat the food, and then we have a negative effect, right? So basically the negative effect of throwing up is supposed to detour us from doing it again, correct? So we do the behavior, we get slapped on the hand, we do the behavior, we get slapped on the hand. Pretty soon we're like, okay, I'm not going to do it because I'll get slapped on the hand. So for some of us, we learn those lessons. For other people, we learn other ways to get around it, right? We're like, oh, but if I only eat one fry versus all of the fries, or if I eat the fries over time, I can get around from the slap. Anyone try to get around the slap and cheat it? Absolutely. And those are the ones that are going to regain, right? No slapping and no regaining. You know what? Do you dump? Yeah, see, there's a very small percentage of people who can eat the pizza and not exercise and stay thin. I don't know what that secret is, but I know that they are the minority. They are the minority. My stepsister had it, but she dumps. She eats like crap, and she's really thin, and she had the surgery, but she's shitting all over Southern California. So, you know what I mean? So there are downsides. So that whole first year, I call it boot camp. It is boot camp. You are supposed to be learning all the tools that are going to take you past your 1-year anniversary, past your 2-year anniversary, past the moment you start to get complacent. So I didn't expect to have a new relationship with food. I was not the farmer's market girl. I was the Sam's Club girl. Like in bulk once a month, right? That's what I was going to do. So I didn't realize that when I was throwing up, I was actually, okay, now I need to find something that's going to sit well with me. And that was teaching me good nutrition because I had to research it. So that was the first lesson I learned. I didn't expect it. These are the same genes. So I had my surgery 3.5 years ago, and those genes I fit into right when I met goal, and these are the same. That's why I switched. These are the genes. Yes, these are. But the difference between that one and this one is that one I don't have like an army holding me in underneath these genes. So right now, like when I bust out, but they fit, they zipped, and that's the point. They zipped. Right? So, but they're tight. Like I could barely walk and they might rip at any moment, but they fit. So this just tells me, you know what, no Carl's Jr. again at midnight like I did last night because someone didn't eat and then I wanted a fry. So, right, I know. But it but it's a reminder. Does anyone have reminder clothes? Did anyone hang on to their big clothes? Throw them away. Throw them away. Okay, one pair of pants that you'll like never get into again, but I gave away everything. Every size.
I kept wearing them, and my roommate at the time finally took them, put them in a box, and took them to the garbage.
Yeah, you can't, because then you just look frumpy. No one wants to look frumpy, right? So I really highly suggest with every size, give them away. Give them away and never look back. Oh, I didn't expect to freaking run 26.2 miles at all. Like, literally. There was so I knew it was on my bucket list. I was like, okay, I'll run a marathon because it's just cool to say you did. You know, I turned 40 next month, and I'm like, I get to say it at my party and put it in my slideshow. You know, I get to share it with you guys. It was just really for novelty. So then when I started training, I was like, oh shit, this is not cool. Like it was so hard. Marathon runners in here, I think there's a couple, yes. Michelle in the back, a couple, yes. Everyone's like, start with a half. I'm like, no, I'm going all the way. So I trained, and I remember the first time I ran 3 miles straight, Facebook that shit. Oh my God, I just ran 3 miles without stopping. It was a miracle for me because I was not athletic. Does cheer count because that? No. Okay, well it does. Yeah, but I couldn't even do a toe touch. Like I was that cheerleader. I was like, yeah. Okay, what's that? I did. Oh, that's right. I lifted from the bottom. I was always a base. Whatever. I was the fat girl base. Always, always. Okay, see? But we had a purpose. I let those skinny bitches fall all the time. Oh, my God. Okay, so anyways, I didn't do it for time. So if you know anything about the marathon, you have to do it. LA was 8 hours. And if you don't do it in 8 hours, they come and swoop you up. They start opening the streets. Cars start passing by. Loser, you didn't make it in 8 hours. I was like, please just let me make it in 8 hours. So when I was training, because I was like, I'm going to walk it. So when I was training it and you do the math, I was like, oh, hell, they're going to swoop me up because I cannot walk that fast. So then I start, I'm jogging it, training jogging. So finally, I'm like, okay, the big day's here. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I was like, everyone knows in the world I'm doing it. I was posting it on Facebook, just like sort of like having the surgery. Like, what if I fail? What if I don't freaking complete it? Well, the good thing about me is that I post my flaws on Facebook all the time. So if I didn't make it, I'm like, oh, well, better luck next year. I'll try again. You know what I mean? For me, it's always about the effort. How many of you guys wanted to try a marathon and haven't yet? Right? It's literally, if there's something big you want to do, but you're still too scared, you've already lost. You're doing it next year, the marathon? You could do it. I can do it. You so can do it. Michelle saw me. She said, I saw you, but you ran past me. I was like, proof. There was proof I was running. So I had my girlfriend who's a runner. She's been a runner since we were kids, and she was there taking pictures. And she fucking walks faster than I run. So literally, I'm like all my pictures, and she's like laying on her back. The whole, she met me at 3 different, sites. She ran 5 miles just to get to me. I was like, bitch, So, yeah, she got all those fabulous pictures of me. Well, this one is hilarious. Right here, you don't even see the pain. That's like the ugly cry face. Because I'm like, but the bottom line, 70-year-old woman, she must have been at least 70 or 80, freaking passed me up. She was like, she had on a dress. Okay, I had on packs. I was going to the war, you know what I mean? She's just like, and with the big visor that covered her, no skin cancer, a fireman in full gear passed me up. Literally, but I was like, I don't care. I'm going to make it. I just don't want to cramp because I knew if I cramped up, it was done. And everyone was like, you can do it, but you don't understand when it comes to a marathon, you mentally cannot prepare for a marathon. Literally, let me rephrase that. You can't talk yourself out of a cramp. I knew physically if my body broke down, I couldn't move. So at mile 11, I had to go to the bathroom, which I was also scared about, how do I go to the bathroom without, what's going to happen? And it was this concern. I went to the bathroom really fast, and I sat down, and it cramped. Oh my God, I almost didn't wipe because I was like, no, oh my God, no, please don't. I have to finish this marathon. And I'm like, stretch it out. So I stretched that sucker out, and I kept on going. And I was like, oh my God, okay, I don't feel it, And I made, so 8 hours it takes. 7 hours and 36 minutes, I finished the marathon. And for real marathoners, it's like everyone wants to do it in 4 hours. Peace out, do it in 4 hours. I don't give a shit. I have a medal. I don't care. And I wore that shit for a week. So I was in Target. I couldn't walk the next day. I was in that little. I was like, I ran a marathon. That's why I'm in the cart. Lost toenails. Literally, some of them are still just painted over skin because I lost toenails. But I did not care that my mission was just to finish it. And I keep saying, 1,000 people came in behind me. 1,000 people came in behind me. I could have never done that at 250 pounds. So put in the effort. You can do anything, literally anything, if you set your mind to it. Okay, thank you guys so much.